We come to India now because India is playing the semi-final, the first semi-final at Old Trafford, which will be against New Zealand, and that will of course be on Tuesday, which is the 9th. And Ajay, since this is the first time we have you here in the World Cup, how impressed have you been with India and their performance in this tournament?
I think it's been fabulous. For the last 2 years, I think, if you would ask me or asked anybody in this world, would India make it to the semi-finals easily? I think that was the call, and that's where we are. And they've just gone about doing their business as they've done in the last couple of years. They've been as instinctive as in the last 2 years. Even in this World Cup, when we started the World Cup, there was players that you were going to play with. They've now sitting out, somebody else has come and played. So the story of the last 2 years has carried on, and we are exactly where we were at the start of the tournament. Because at the start of this tournament, you were the best side. You still are the best side. You were meant to be in the semi-finals or win this World Cup, which you are still sitting there pretty. So I haven't seen anything different from the last 2 years in this World Cup, including that number 4 changing, guys not in the team coming back straight into the team, from the team going out, who is going to play, who's not going to play.
But the important thing is the core has stayed the same, and the way of playing sort of stayed the same. So again, like you're saying, the confusion of 1 or 2 slots, etc., will always be there in everything.
That is what actually worries me, if there is a worry. Because, like we were just talking a little earlier about that chases. What happened in that chase? Because we've only lost 1 game. So if you go to really analyze, I look at that game. What happened? It was, it was that same, what happened in 2020 cricket and what you do in the IPL and how you chase last 10 overs. We were expecting that to happen there. What we tend to forget is in a 20-over game, the ball is only fairly newer. The ball comes onto the bat. And in an IPL game, when you need 10 an over or 12 an over in the last 10 overs with 4 wickets down, you've got 4 overs from weaker bowlers in that. The main bowler, somebody like Zaheer Khan or a Malinga, would have 1 over left or 2 overs left, 2, or Bumrah would have 2, and outstanding bowlers. Whereas in this game, when you play a 50-over game, the ball is much older. You've lost 5 wickets, you've still got 10 overs to go, and the 2 main bowlers, whether it's Bumrah, whether it's Stark, whether it's Zaheer Khan, they have 4, 5 overs left. So that is the biggest difference when you chase in a 20-over game and when you chase in a 50-over game.
I like that. That is a big difference, because it's
so you stuck to your quality. So you stuck to your thing, and then every change that you had is not because of conditions or the teams. It's been forced changes. So these are the 2 worries that I have, that you have been stuck with whatever you believe in, and we are the best side. There is no doubt about it. But what sport has always taught me, and what I've seen over the years, is that you've got to learn and move on and not be playing catch up. So when you made a mistake, you've got to be smarter before that incident comes. Because you're going to have a semi-final, and the semi-final is not going to be one of those slow and low pitches anymore. You will be surprised, it will be flat and hard. So you don't want to be too slow now. So that's the only thing.
Cautious, you're right.
I think except for that, India has been fabulous over the last 4 years, and they've just carried on doing that.
To your point, actually, Virat Kohli said the same thing. He said that maybe our fault has been that we've not been flexible enough given the situation. But with India, there's 3 people that I want to talk about, and all 3 have, of course, gained from the able tutelage of the Zen master, Mr. Zaheer Khan, for 2 months in leading up to the World Cup, which is Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, and Hardik Pandya. 3 of our top performers this World Cup, who of course have been given some sort of secret sauce or some sort of Jari Booty Chavanprash by Zaheer Khan.
Don't go there. Don't go there, please. I think they are all more than able players. And when you talk about Rohit Sharma, it's not the first time we are talking like this. He's got this tremendous ability. He makes batting looks. It's like you going having chai. It's just raining outside.
Easy.
Okay, let's have chai, and that's how simple he has made things. What is important is that he has shown this tremendous hunger in this World Cup. It's like he's scoring these hundreds, and the reaction is very, very subtle. There is not, when he's getting out, there's more emotions. When he's scoring hundreds, there are less emotions. That shows that what kind of zone he is in. He wants to just make use of this form to another level, and he has already made that mark. 500s in 8 innings is just simply unbelievable. So from India's point of view, it's going to be very important, because that's the formula which they've been working on for last 4 years or so, of getting that start. That start has been the most vital component of India's winning matches, and that credit also goes to these top 3 guys.
Yeah.
One of them is not there right now. Shikhar is injured and out of the team.
Shikhar's not there.
But this guy has been right up there with his performances and consistency which he has shown.
Look at those two, 189 and 180 leading up to this. There's 4 century partnerships. Of course, against Australia and Pakistan was with Shikhar. This is Rohit and Shikhar. Pakistan was also with KL Rahul. Australia was with Shikhar. And then down below again another 180 and 189, which 189, by the way, is a record now. Opening partnerships for India in any World Cup.
So now you go back to the thought process which this team was carrying on, and the processes which they were talking about, and the brand of cricket which they were talking about playing. That in that scenario, KL Rahul was very important. And he was not really in form. His form was patchy. He was showing the ability which he has, but was not really consistent to the level of the standard which Shikhar, Virat and Rohit has set at the top. But they persisted with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, you plan for a rainy day. It's just a classic example of that. KL Rahul right now stepping in, and you're not feeling the absence. There's one man's misfortune has turned out to be opportunity for others.
Yeah.
And he was ready for that. And who is benefited? The team has benefited. So even though, yes, the disappointment is there that, Shikhar, the kind of form he was in, couldn't really now contribute further for the Indian team in this World Cup and had to be sent home because of his injury. But the team has not suffered in that fashion. He has stepped in, and the backup opener was there. So the pressure of that start, which has been the formula for the Indian team, that start is very vital. It still is for any team. It is very vital. But the fact that these 2 openers now, KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma, have done 300 run partnerships.
Yeah.
So that is something which is very important, and the credit has to go to the think tank. The part of people who are part of the squad at the moment, and who are the decision makers for this, needs to be credited for this. That they thought about their whole campaign. They thought about the red flags which will be there in the tournament when they're playing this league phase, and they've anticipated those way before. Even bringing in Mayank right now is a very smart call, because the other day KL Rahul fell and he was not fielding. So maybe you need a flexible guy like Mayank can bat in the middle orders as well, or can open if required, because he's a test match opener.
Yeah.
So that is something which has been good in terms of following that one thought process, and the formula. So the formula of success is defined. It's just about now different people coming in and playing that role, and a role within the team and within the playing 11 is pretty much defined as what we've seen in the last 2-3 years.
And then there is also Jasprit Bumrah. Like our batting, of course, 1-2-3 has been firing for the last few years. Rahul has plugged in that hole. Remember, Shikhar Dhawan is such an important cog when it comes to ICC tournaments. And as Zach said, he's missed out here. But of course, Rahul has jumped in. So Bumrah, let's talk about him. 17 wickets. So that means he's tied in 3rd position, effectively, with Loki Ferguson, who's at 17. So he's at 17 right now, and that's the thing with it's just. But no surprise, right, Ajay? I mean, Bumrah, he's just been world over, like last 2 years, just been magic.
Look, he's magical. I mean, he's almost like your generator, or he's where the energy is coming from. You take him out of this side, and your side, which is the best side in the world at the moment, I don't think you asked me, can we win this semi-final and final without Bumrah? I'd start thinking, there'll be trouble, because like what he says, you have all resources to replace anybody, but this is one man who's non-replaceable.
Yeah, because the other day he did a dive at the boundary, and I think there was 1 billion heart attacks.
See, because what he does, what his capability on a cricket ground with that ball is something special that nobody else can do.